create any obstacles. What is the situation in the city besides Azovstal? The situation is threatening, according to us, because on one side we see the number of people is growing because people are getting back because all green corridors were closed by the Russian Federation. People who were residing in Nikopolsk, Berdyansk, Mariupol regions, so they cannot get to Zaporizhia, and because of financial challenges, they are forced to go back to their homes. So we see that the number of people is increasing. Unfortunately, the delivery of food still remains a big challenge. Russian troops resumed water supply. There were a lot of utility lines damaged, but it is also very dangerous because there might be humanitarian disaster. The problem of water waste and drainage is absolutely threatening because all this drainage will end up in the sea eventually. There is also a huge amount of people whose bodies are still under the debris and no one is burying them. So that is also a big threat because it can lead to epidemics in the city, because by the end of this year we might have 10,000 people dead because of humanitarian catastrophe. The situation is very threatening, so the situation is absolutely dire. People cannot leave the city because of green corridors being blocked. We have a question from our guest. Do you have any connection with people in Azovstal? Can you help the wounded? Can you provide them with food and medication? I cannot comment because security and safety issues is above all. Any other questions? A more generic question. It's been almost 3 years since the war started. We can already make some conclusions about the plans of Russia regarding Mariupol, Donbass, and Ukraine in general. So what are your thoughts? Mariupol is a very demonstrative example because what we hear from the Russians, from collaborators, from their surrounding, they don't need Mariupol as such. No one is trying to improve the humanitarian situation in Mariupol. For them, it's just geographical location on the map. They cannot resume the port because it's very labor and financially and time-consuming process. So it's going to be converted into ghetto. And the absence of occupational core means that they will probably marginalize the population. They will just organize gangs that will be controlling the city. Unfortunately, this is the most pessimistic, the worst case scenario. But that's according to us. We also saw that there were attempts to legalize this occupational regime. They were trying to even organize the referendum. They were even mentioning the date of the referendum, the 15th of May. But now I see that they're trying to strengthen the reintegration of Mariupol into Russia. They are already integrating their system with the mobile connection of Russia. We know that Russian banks are trying to enter Mariupol. Educational system has been converted into has been organized in line with the Russian Ministry of Education. So hopefully that all will end well. So they say that Mariupol is fully occupied. I believe that the annexation of Mariupol will be done without legal grounds. So I understand that first they were trying to get port, but port is not working. I cannot hear you, unfortunately. I will repeat that initially they wanted port, but now they understand that that the port is difficult to rebuild and resume the operations in the port. So they are going to convert it into ghetto. That is correct. They are trying to attack Azov Steel military facility. So what are the reasons that they keep attacking this facility and they keep spending so much time? Is this just to satisfy the sick ambitions of Putin? We can compare this situation to what happened in Kiev or near Kiev. They were trying to capture the city in 3 or 4 days. They understand that it's very difficult to withdraw their troops because they created this propaganda circle around Azov Steel. They cannot attack it, they cannot capture it, but they cannot withdraw. So this is basically a vicious circle for them. I understand that they are also sustaining losses. Yes, daily. So daily they are losing their soldiers. It doesn't make any sense for the Russians to continue. Even if they are ready to take all their forces away, we can guarantee that these are the best soldiers that we have in Azov. At the moment, you cannot reach any agreement with Russians. We can't. We just keep hoping. The hope is the last thing. So I understand what you say. Thank you for finding the opportunity to be with us, and thank you for what you are doing for Mariupol and for Ukraine. Our guest was Petro Andrushenko, advisor to Mariupol mayor. My name is Vadim Krasnov.